Powered by Virginia Radio.
What up, people? You know who it is. It's your favorite cousin.
And this your playground partner.
And we are the Bare Naked Truth Podcast, and we are back with another crazy episode for you. And today, we have one of our, well, not even one on, we have our militant cousin back in the building. So please, cousin, let them know who you are.
Yes, I am General Mike Payne, national leader of the original Black Panther Party.
All right. And he's here with us today. We're going to be chopping it up, talking a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get in this business like we did last time. So I hope y'all ready. All right, but before we get started, you know how we always do with the quick hits. Got a few things jumping off that I figured y'all might like to know about.
All right.
First thing, Brittany Griner's home. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Welcome home, Brittany.
Some people happy, some not. You know, she was traded for the arms dealer, a.k.a. the Merchant of Death. Do y'all feel that was a good trade, or should they have to do something else? Or should they had left her over there?
Well, I wasn't too concerned about the trade, really, as long as she home and she's with her family, you know. That's all that matters to me.
Yeah, I don't want no black individual or black woman, you know, sitting behind bars or incarcerated, especially on foreign soil. You know, that is a thing that I would say would be a bad thing for anybody. You know? But I the trade wasn't the best. It wasn't a great trade.
I got you.
We could probably all agree to that.
Yeah,
But, you know, I'm glad that she, she's home and she's safe and things of that nature. Yeah.
Now, the thing is, and I don't want to make a mockery of it, but should we call her she or he? Because, you know, I heard her speak, and she had a male's voice due to the hormones. Mike, don't you do it. This is not to be made of a mockery. Lord have mercy. But, you know.
Is that a question for me?
Well.
All right, I'm be quiet.
You and my partner down there.
What does she want to be called?
I'm going to hold my tongue.
I don't even know what she wants.
Well, I don't know.
I'm going to call her.
I think we should start calling her Barry, you know.
All right. Hey, when them folks come for you, bro, look.
I mean, I'm saying because, you know, she has a deep voice now, you know. She's transitioning, I suppose, you know, and, you know, that's her preference, and, you know, I'm okay with that, but, you know.
Hey, look, man, when the alphabets come looking for you, bro, you're on your own. I'm copy please like Gunner. You're not going to have no. Anyway,
it doesn't matter who you are.
Moving on.
Let's go.
All right, so Dr. Make sure I try to say his name right. Mutulu Shakur has been released.
Yes, sir.
After being in jail for 36 years. Not mistaken to say he was in there for armed robbery and conspiracy, for RICO conspiracy. He's been released. He was denied parole a lot of times, 9 times. And I do believe he was unjustly served for murder because, from what I read up, they had no evidence that he was the one who killed the people. So
right.
You know, he's released. Also, he was a political
prisoner.
Yeah. So he's out now. You know, congrats to him and his family. And also understood he was the Tupac's stepdad.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So shouts to that. All right. And moving on, also something I found out after you spoke last night, bro. So Indiana.
Okay.
Y'all remember last week I was telling y'all about the killer robots
Yeah.
in San Francisco. Yeah, you heard about that?
No, I ain't hear
Yeah,
about
so
that
in
one.
San Fran, the
yeah.
robots now, they can use robots to kill people if they feel that, as their words, last result.
This is on the police force?
Yeah. And I believe they've already done it once somewhere. I'm not sure where, though. So there's a new law in Indiana now. Get this. Allow citizens to shoot cops.
What?
Yeah. So they're allowed to shoot police
Under what circumstances?
if they are what is called a unlawful intrusion. So you know how sometimes they may run in homes with the wrong warrants.
Or no warrants, no
yeah.
warrants, something like that.
Yeah.
They try to go in your car unlawfully. You have permission now to open fire.
That could be good and bad.
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that
Exactly.
That could be
I'm
good
not
and
saying
bad.
it's good or bad. I'm just saying that's the law they have now. So maybe on their end they'll act more. They'll have all their intel straight before they just run in people's houses. But at the same time, there's going to be a lot of people who don't deserve to lose their life probably with this law.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think also I could see that going in a bad way because what the police can always claim and what they can always say, when they, because of the law, they are in constant fear. Now they're the victims. They're in constant jeopardy of their life. So therefore, now that's why they shot and killed umpteen more people. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
And
When they shoot it first, ask the question
yeah,
later.
yeah. Now you're dealing with a Wild Wild West situation, and
Yeah.
whoever shoot first, and make sure whoever's not alive to tell the story. So
Right.
that could go. It could get a lot of people off too. When they do the wrong thing and the police get shot. So I don't know how that's gonna go. That's a tough
I
one.
would just say keep the camera rolling and hopefully it'll help you in court.
Yeah. Have all the evidence you can.
yeah,
Definitely. So that's all I have for the
that'll
quick hits. You
definitely
wanna add
give them,
anything?
more of a reason though, to shoot back.
Yeah.
But they was already claiming hey, he had a gun, and he didn't have a gun. It was a cell phone.
Right.
So it's scary, man.
Yeah, definitely. So it's, definitely want to see how this play out, man, and we'll probably hear more news from San Fran and Indiana now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but that's all I got for the quick hits, man. Nothing too much. Let's go ahead and get it going, bro.
All right. Well,
set it
let's
off.
get this going. And we're gonna start it off with the first question here.
All right, what you got?
General Payne, can you share with us and enlighten us on everything that y'all have been doing out in Tulsa, Oklahoma?
Yeah, absolutely. Tulsa, Oklahoma, it's a lot going on there. We have brother Ricky Wright. Ricky Wright was 17 at the time. He was 17 years old, and he was falsely convicted of raping a 61-year-old white woman. All right. And this is why we say falsely. And this is the thing that we have to also put on the table. It's gotten to a point where we've had to do as citizens our own investigations.
Yeah.
Wow.
The police aren't doing their job, so therefore we have to do their job for them in order to free a brother that hasn't done anything.
Right.
So now he's 17. They say he raped this woman. They have no DNA.
Yeah.
No DNA evidence. Now she has DNA on her, but it's not his.
It wasn't his. Yeah.
Right.
So that should end the case right there, then.
That should be it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But to further go into it, she never pointed him out and said he did it. She pointed at 3 other individuals in a lineup, and he was never picked out. So she's never said he did it at all. Now I'm not victim blaming or anything like that or victim bashing. She was raped, but just not by him.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm not over here caping for somebody that had something done to her, but it just wasn't by him.
Right.
And what they're doing is they're snatching our young black males off the street, and they're incarcerating them and giving them trumped up charges.
Right.
So when we get the call, we're sitting here like, wait a minute. What's going on with this? And then we have evidence that they changed his appearance. So you have the the juvenile record right? And you take the juvenile record, it says he's 5'5", but when you go to the actual police records of when he's arrested, and they have him listed as 5'10", they have him at 200 pounds. He's only 160. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what they've done is they've changed his whole appearance,
His whole identity,
to fit the identity of the assailant.
Wow.
You see of what she's describing, and they said he had a afro, but he had braids. You know, they said the person that did it was in their mid 30s. He's 17 at the time. You know,
make him.
He was a child.
Make him big.
Yeah.
And then it happened kind of near his place of employment.
Okay.
So what they did was they said that they arrested him there, but they truthfully arrested him down the block somewhere else at next to his school.
Okay.
So they're changing things for no reason. If that's not a big deal, then why change it?
Right.
You know,
Right.
You
Right.
shouldn't even
Indeed
hold
that.
up in court. Like you said, he was 5'10". You could tell.
Absolutely.
There's a big difference from 5'5" and 5'10".
5'10", definitely.
Right, and
You know what I mean?
when we're looking at the DNA, I think it said 1 in 3 octillions of a chance that he could be.
Wow.
That's so. What is an octillion?
Yeah, 1 in 3 octillions that could be him.
Right.
You know, so
They said, well, one is good enough.
yeah. So we went there to really pursue this, and if you know the history of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Black Wall Street, you know the reason why that all happened was from a white woman crying. You know? So it's like history kind of repeats itself.
Yeah.
And while we were down there, we ran into 4 other individuals that said they had an issue and had been locked up, or their son had been locked up from some dealing with a white individual.
Right.
So they dealt with the white woman, and next thing you know, so it's something in the water, something going wrong down there in Tulsa. And you know, the other thing with Queen Mother Pamela Smith is she was raped by a white man with the glass salt shaker. We spoke about that before, and she has evidence that the salt shaker was removed out of the police custody. They had it in the
Out of the
in
evidence.
intake. And she has the intake form showing that it was checked in, but somehow it disappears. Somehow now it's gone. So she had all the evidence in the world. So the white man gets away with raping a black woman. You see what I'm saying? But when it comes to our black men, and a woman comes with no evidence at all, he's locked up.
Yeah.
And the sad part about it, what it sounds like is she's not even saying that it was him.
She never pointed him out.
Right.
And she has dementia, so her whole thing is off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's dead now, but they still have him in prison. He's still incarcerated, and they gave him 13 years.
Wow.
10 for rape and 3 for sodomy. But they test all. They did a swab in her mouth. Nothing matches him.
Yeah.
So we're hoping to bring Brother Ricky Wright home soon.
Yes, sir.
He should have his appeal coming up, and we're fighting for him. We ask people, to call, which happens to be a black police chief out there named Wendell Franklin. Call this number, 918-596-9378, and demand Ricky Wright come home. Demand the evidence be looked into, because we have to stick together for stuff like this.
That's it. Yeah.
And the sad thing is that we have black individuals that get into power, and they haven't had that power maybe in life. Maybe they haven't felt it before, but they get into power, and then they sell out so that they can get that tap on the back. They want to get patted on the back or the head by their white counterparts.
Right.
And they want to move
Good job,
up.
boy.
Yeah. They want to move up in their rank and things like that. So
Yeah.
they use a black man to keep the other black men in line.
Right.
And then we look and wonder, well, this is a black man. And the other bad thing about that is you'll have a black man there, so the white individuals in the community and the public think, well, if he thinks he did it, then he must have.
Yeah, so I'm a
the
black man saying yes, yeah.
But they don't
Use us
realize
against us.
we have sellout black folks.
Right.
Man,
And look,
you better
and
talk.
and I'm not gonna ask you to say it, but I'm gonna say it. So pretty much an Uncle Tom.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Not Uncle Tom.
Yeah, let me get that. Yeah,
Not
yeah.
Uncle Tom. Sambo.
Sambo.
Yeah, let me get that right. Sambo. Yep. We always got to get Uncle Tom was a good one. He was
Yeah.
a good one. He get a bad rap.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've been hearing that a lot lately,
Yes,
and
sir.
I
Yes,
actually
sir.
looked into it, and that's true. Sambo was the one.
Sambo was the one.
He was the one, huh?
Yep, and so that would be Police Chief Wendell Franklin. That you can call at 918-596-9378.
That's a good segue.
That is. Yeah, indeed that. Indeed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh man, so let's go here, man. You know, speaking of black hate, what do you think about our good brother Dion, Coach Prime?
Prime
Now,
time.
Was he a victim of black hate?
Let me ask you.
What's going on?
Before you ask me that, I want to know what are they saying is the problem with what Dion is doing?
Okay, so that's what I've been trying to find out.
Okay.
So a lot of people saying, well, you know, man, he left Jackson State, man, this and this and that. My question was, are you mad because he left Jackson State, or were you mad because he went to Colorado? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because that's the question that people are not asking. They just say, oh, he left them kids. But I'm like, at the same time, I don't think nobody really realized what happened. When you look at all the stuff as in, you know, the president said, you know, after you get so many ticket sales, we're going to give you X amount of money. You know, he spent a lot of his money building up the facilities, doing things for the students.
Right.
Getting TV deals. And a lot of the stuff that he was trying to do was turned down by the president of the school.
Got you.
They won the bowl. They didn't get the money they were supposed to get. He sent it everywhere else.
Right.
So it's like, on one hand, I understand. It's like, yo, you know, you do bad business.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because I'm hearing that they you know a lot of people are mad saying he basically sold out and went to the white schools over the black schools and things like that. This is my thing. With brother Deion Sanders, I can't say, because first of all, he's saying that, like you were saying with the ticket sales. I saw an interview with him. He said, the money's not right. Something's going on, because he can see in the stands that certain stuff is coming in, certain stuff ain't, and he's not being paid, compensated
for it.
the way that it should be done. So I can't really speak on this brother's personal issues and his contracts and things that behind closed doors. Also, how long is a person supposed to stay somewhere even though they're helping out and they're doing good for it's his choice really if he wants to move on to somewhere else for a better opportunity or not. That's his personal choice. Now it's different if you're just going to these places for certain reasons, and because you think you're gonna the white schools is better, or whatever. If it's something like that, then I can see something people having a problem with it. But his lifestyle, and everybody knows prime time. They know what he's been about. It ain't So
and also too, I want to say I seen the interview because people are like, oh, well, maybe he's just trying to go to the NFL. He said he's not going to the NFL. And also he was saying that what he was getting from the school, he also had to pay his staff.
Yeah.
So it's like you're not giving me the money I'm supposed to get.
Right.
And you're giving me a small amount, and I still have staff that I have to make sure is
he's coming out of
paid
his own
so they
pocket.
can stay.
That's eating, yeah. And then he's also funding the program, with the equipment and all that out of his own pocket.
Right. And when you have a job, I mean, truthfully, you're just like with school teachers, they shouldn't be buying pencils and papers and things like that. They shouldn't have to do that. That's not their job to do that. So when you have a job, you're supposed to work the job and get compensated for the job. You're not supposed to have to put into it. In that case, you have your own business. If you're putting into it, you should be putting into your own business.
Yeah, I need to be a shareholder.
Right? Yeah, something. So I get it if that's the case. If that's the case where he's putting money into his into the business and the school and things like that. Wow, that's great, and because he's financially capable to do so, that's a good thing. But how long do you expect that man to do that? You know what I'm saying? Like that can't be a forever thing. So.
And I think too, man, like with that situation, people are fickle.
Yeah,
because if he was losing, they'd be yelling to get him out of there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And and I also hear people say, oh, he made these promises to these young black boys to get them to go here and stuff like this. But I'm like you said, just like with any other thing in sports, nothing is permanent.
Right.
Coaches move all the time. When you first started liking your favorite team, them people ain't there no more.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It happens. It happens.
So it's like, you know what? I don't know what they were expecting. Like maybe he'll go to another HBCU or what. But you know, at the end of the day, I'm like, hey man, you know, he did what he had to do, and he took his son with him too. So it's like, hey, look, you know, you can compete in the Power 5 now, and
Right.
you know, maybe you have a better chance. And not just his son, he took other players also.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, so it's not like he just left
Right.
high and dry. It's like, yo, you know, y'all come with me. We compete on a higher level, see what happens, you know. So I think it was a good move, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Now, see, when you put it that way too, there's other things in there. You know, there's circumstances, and I don't know his intent. You see what I'm saying? I don't know his intent and where his heart is at. But sometimes when you leave and you go to these other schools, and if he made promises to certain individuals, and you know, as a man, just me, you know, when I try to make a promise, I try to stick to that.
Yeah,
that's it.
I don't know how long that is supposed to last. You know, I don't know what he promised, you know, what he said. But also the students, you know, you can't just be married to the coach. You know, you have to.
Yeah.
It has to be. You know, you go for the school, the experience, the team as a whole. You know, a few other things. If you came just for Deion, then you know that's a problem in itself. So
Exactly.
you know, so when he does move on, you should still be okay at being there. But you know,
I want to say this to the people also, man. For those of you out there who are upset, one thing you got to realize too is, guess what? You can still support HBCUs if he's there or not.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
You know, because let's just say something untimely happened. You know, I don't wish this, but it's just hypothetical. Let's say the man passed. Then what?
right,
You know what I'm saying? The school's still going to be there.
right.
So, you know, you can still support.
Yeah, the
even
school
if he's
doesn't
not
end with
there.
Deion.
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's all I got on that one, man. What else you got, bro?
Well, on that one, I don't have much. You know,
But that's also what we were talking about too before with self-preservation. You know,
Yeah,
if he's leaving to better himself and his child, you know, to where they can get to a better place. You know, one thing, and I'm not saying this is necessarily with him, but one thing that's been killing us in our community, as I always say, is self-preservation. We pick ourselves over the village and over what you know what does better for the whole. You know, we always look out for ourselves first, and when we do that, sometimes, you know, we do screw over the whole. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, including our entertainers, you know, they'll go out and make statements and do certain things and you know, put out certain messages that hurt the whole. But for
You
them,
want to put names on it?
huh?
Want to put names on them?
Oh, it's plenty of them. I mean,
No, I'm just playing.
yeah, it's plenty of them.
Just play. You know, one come to mind off the top. Like,
Yeah. But it's
We ain't
plenty
need
of
to go
them
there, but I got
that
you.
do it. You know, even when you look at some artists, you know, that do music and they put out, you know, they didn't. Some of them didn't even live a certain life, but they'll put that message out simply because it makes money. So they free their whole family. You know, they free their grandmother and their mother and their cousins. They get them houses and things like that. But you've ruined the lives of probably, you know, millions of kids that listen to your music and think that you really live that life and they choose to follow you. You see what I'm saying? So that self-preservation of, oh, I'm going to get the money and I'm going to get the bag and I'm going to get this. Yeah, well, if it hurts so many others, you may not see it, but that's what it does. So I'm not saying that's what Deion Sanders, you know, did by, you know, deciding to do better for himself and his son, but he also took some other individuals with him. So it sounds like he just tried to make the best deal, the best power play that was in his best interest, and also for those that were closest to him, you know, as far as the kids and, you know, things like that too. So, I don't know.
Okay. Well, I definitely agree. What you got next, brother?
all right. Well, with that being said, you know, do you feel it's time for us as a people to do away with that phrase, real nigga? I'm a real nigga. Oh, he a real, you know what I mean?
Yeah. First of all, with that, I want to ask what that definition is of real. See, that's the problem. The definition of real is wrong.
Right.
Now you can be a real whatever you want to be, but get the definition of real correct.
Right.
Under our mindset of real, there's always something negative.
Right.
Or a criminal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're in prison and he a real. He done killed a couple cats. Oh, he a real one.
Right.
Like, how is that real?
Yeah.
Like, you know, so we need to redefine the term real first.
Yeah.
That's,
Everybody has their own perception of that word. So.
And I'd say 80% is negative.
Yeah.
You know, 80% is
Especially when there's that phrase.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they would say, like you said, oh man, well he did this, he a real nigga. But I'm like, okay, but what about the dudes that's out here going to work every day?
Taking care of the kids.
You know what I'm saying?
Doing
Taking care of their
that.
kids, treating their
Yeah.
ladies right, doing what they supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because to me, that's even harder.
Well, that right there alone, that's a real man.
Yeah.
That's what a real man is.
Right.
You
But
understand
I'm
what
like,
saying?
that's the hardest part right there. Like, people don't realize. Like, people be like, oh man, well, you know, man, the street life hard. I'm like, bro, you know what's harder than that?
Yeah.
Trying to do what's right.
Right.
Because it's easy to go out here and get a lick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's harder to be like,
And
you know what?
You know, and I also feel like this. Once you get past a certain age, man, it's just some things that you need to leave behind. It's just some things that you need to let go. You understand what I'm saying? So,
Definitely.
you know.
You said something really important too. I can't remember what it was. You just said something really important that came to my mind, and it was something about them.
And the question
was it was that's the definition of a man,
right.
and we have to realize also with that term, you know, always saying nigga and man, you know, whatever. There is a difference. There is a difference.
Definitely.
But we should take away even that and just be black men. You know,
Okay.
we should be black men and take away the derogatory.
Right.
You know, I know we always try to make things, you know, what is it, lemons into lemonade and things like that.
Yeah.
But we can't continue to do that. That word has too much pain, too much. I know they say, well, we take away the power in it and all that. Now, look, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, you don't see the other communities taking away the power of the swastika. You don't see communities taking away the rebel flag power, and what that means. They try to say it's heritage, not hate, but we all know what that flag is and what served under the flag.
Yeah.
And we know what it typically means.
And they used it for hate.
And what absolutely, and still do. So you know, when we come against our own, you know, words, and I've heard, well, it was pronounced this, it was pronounced that in Africa. Look, man, we know what that word means, especially here in America. We know what it means.
Right.
And when we're walking around, you know, I know we try to say it's a term of endearment with one another and things like that, but we have to get away from those things.
That's it.
You know, even when we talk about our food, you know, and the way we eat and things like that, you know, some of us are still out here eating slave food. You know, if you look up what they served us,
What is slave food? Let's go and drop it on them. What is
Well,
slave food?
go
chitlins.
that's
Chitlins.
one of them.
Chitlins is
Leftover
one.
parts of the pig,
So-
all
Yeah.
the horrible parts.
So
of the
it's soul food, slave food.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It
And
definitely
you gotta
is.
look at all the extra sugar and stuff that's poured into it, and all
Right.
that
And-
stuff. And then they say, well, we have high blood pressure, high cholesterol,
Seasoning,
and
exactly.
all
The
this and that.
seasoning, yeah.
Hey,
But-
whoa. Seasoning is good. Seasoning is good. Don't do that.
You sound like a slave. You sound like a slave.
When I eat
Put
my
some
baked
on it.
fish,
You
I'm
sound like a
seasoning.
slave now.
Put
I'm
some on it.
seasoning my baked fish, brother. Best believe I'm not eating that plain.
But the thing is, like, what we do is, you know, they'll say it's hereditary. It's you know, black people just naturally have high blood. But no, it's because you eat what your mother ate, your mother
Right.
ate what your
The
grandmother
grandmother
ate,
ate,
so
right,
on and so
going
forth.
on.
It's in your family tree. It's in you know. But you break those cycles and you break those chains.
Yes, sir.
You can't keep eating that stuff. It
Yeah.
is, you know, it's just is what it is. And you know,
I'm guilty.
And
I'm guilty. I ain't gonna-
just from my
ain't gonna lie.
partner dying now, there's other ways to season your food.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's natural ways of seasoning your food
And I would
without
put some
using.
natural oregano on it, some Italian seasoning, some garlic powder, pepper, salt. You know what I'm saying? Seasoning salt, a little bit, just a little bit.
All right.
You know,
Okay.
all right.
I tried the other way. I tried seasoning with the peppers and stuff, and it just don't hit the same. It just don't hit the same.
He said,
Because it's so much I want to say to him, but I'm gonna save it for a private conversation. I'll be there for you, man.
All right.
I'll be there for you.
Be a support
That's all I can
system.
say. Yeah,
Yeah, be a
that's all I'm
support
saying.
system.
That's
There
it.
you go.
That's it.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. But yes, and hot sauce.
Oh yeah, hot sauce. I'm gonna tell you something, man. I used to be a real hot sauce lover.
Okay.
I let it go,
Which
man.
one? Which one?
Louisiana, of course.
Okay.
I
was-
love that
was a-
Louisiana
I was
hot
a Pete.
sauce.
I was a Texas
Oh,
Pete.
Texas Pete,
I
yeah.
like that. It got good flavor.
Okay, well look, I'm from Louisiana, so
Oh,
you know,
okay,
yeah.
okay, makes
Yeah,
sense.
Yeah,
You need
you know.
some Frank's Red Hot. I put
Yeah.
that shit on everything. You know what I mean? But yeah, but
Terrible.
All right,
Let's
so,
keep moving, man.
All right, so I got one for you, man. What is the Panther Cadet program, and why is that
nice, yes.
important to the youth and to our future? Actually,
Yeah, the Panther Cadet program is almost, if I had to compare it to anything, is almost like, well, it's almost a level on one level of Boy Scout, Girl Scouts for black children. But
Okay.
also we teach combat. You know, we teach them combat. We just had a history lesson on the Zulu Nation and Queen Amina. We also spoke about her, and we give little worksheets and different things, and we talk about, you know, just so that we can educate our children not just on the slave part of our history, but our whole history. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
in school they don't get that.
Yeah, definitely.
You hear about the same few people.
Martin Luther King,
Yeah,
Malcolm
Rosa
X.
Right,
Parks,
right,
you know,
that's it.
and Malcolm, they barely touch on him.
Yeah,
but-
barely.
you know, but,
When we was going on, they ain't touch on Malcolm at all.
Right.
Huh?
Yeah,
No.
Gave me a little bit.
yeah, and here, you know, you hear about Nat Turner, but it's because it's Virginia. You know, if you go other places, you ain't
You ain't
talking
gonna
about
hear
Nat
about
Turner, you know. So, you know, we want to concentrate on that, and we teach them combat, how to get home safe programs, and stay away from bullies and things like that. And so, yeah, we basically start and let them know they're not savages, they're not B words, they're not they're not N words. You know,
Right.
we raising kings and queens.
That's it.
So we have to get them because they haven't always been indoctrinated to that habit yet.
Yeah.
Some of our older folks, they just can't stop doing it. You know, it's just it's in their vernacular.
Yeah.
It's already there. They're gonna
And
say
their
the N-word.
DNA everywhere. Yeah.
Right, yeah, they're gonna
yeah.
keep doing it. So what we're doing is we get the kids and we bring them up without that to let them know automatically, hey, that's not what we do.
Right, and I'm gonna tell you, if you teach and train them kids will straighten their parents when they get home.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's sad we gotta have the kids get the parents together, but
Right,
you know,
right,
hey,
right. Well,
whatever way it works.
Right, right. My stepson, man, he walks around the house. Ooh, don't say that word.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So if you get the children,
Yep.
the children will get the parents straight. So
Absolutely.
you know,
And my question to that is like, with that, how do you incorporate like, you know, some of the teachings for the parents to understand also? Because you know, some of us still have that rough exterior from, you know, having parents that, you know, grew up in the 70s and 80s
Right.
and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, stay in a child's place. You know, I'm above correction from a child. You know what I'm saying? So how do you get the parents to understand too what's going on with that?
right.
Well, sometimes they don't. You know, like sometimes and that's the hard part on us because, you know, regardless of how many times they see us, they still are 24-hour care with their parent.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, if you have a parent that's just wild and out there, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that's the kid's gonna pick it up. It's gonna soak into them. We just tried to curve that to show them that there is another alternative and another way. Not even to put their parent down or anything like that, you know, but just to let them know there's other options.
Yeah.
These ways will lead you here, and these ways will lead you there.
Right.
So we identify with them. We also bring in people that have been through certain lifestyles to where they can explain, you know, what's going on, and even if their parents happen to be going through this, that, and the third.
Okay.
You know, so, but a lot of times, you know, with our class, the parents are bringing them there for a reason. So therefore, they're already trying to reach some type of help with the child. So,
Okay.
typically that's that. But we do run into the other parents that I'm speaking of sometimes in the different communities and things like that we've ran into. So those are just the harder ones to reach. You know?
Okay. So with this program, is this a seasonal program or is it year round?
Year round.
Okay.
Year round.
How long have y'all been doing that? Were y'all doing it last year?
Yeah,
Or was it something
well, we had started it, and then when the pandemic hit, we had to stop. So we had tried to get it started like just before the pandemic, and then it, you know, that hit, so we had to just kind of stop everything. And you know, once everything cleared and we got some things together, and we opened it back up for the kids.
Okay.
Okay, cool. How can they get in touch with y'all about if parents want to bring their kids to the Panther Cadet program?
Absolutely, yeah. They can just call our headquarters number, which is 757-219. 214-2098. I'm sorry, 757-214-2098. So let me repeat that one more time. 757-214-2098. Got a lot of numbers going on in my head.
Got you.
But, yeah, I don't know where I got that one from, but yeah. So yeah, they can call that and get in touch with us. They can find us on Facebook at the Original Black Panther Party. They can go on our website and hit us up too, and that's theoriginalblackpanthers.com. So www.theoriginalblackpanthers.com, and they can get in touch with that. Also, our newsletter is on there, so just to get information and things that we're doing in the communities, our newsletter will be out there.
Okay, definitely. And also too,
so please, subscribe to that. Subscribe to that.
Yeah. And real quick too, I know that y'all had a name change because once y'all the militia at first. So why did you go back to, or did you change it to party?
Yeah, we had went to we had our name as the Original Black Panther Militia at one time, because we were paying homage to our brother,
Okay.
And we wanted to Michael McGee Sr. So we wanted to make sure that we paid homage to him, and this was during a time when we were kind of stepping out on our own, I guess you could say, and that's where we had did it. But then when we realized with the algorithm, they were consistently hitting us just for that term and trying to shut down every single thing we possibly could put up in the social media world.
Okay.
So we said, you know what, we'll just link our whole bloodline together, and we'll just go back to what we originally had been, which was the Original Black Panther Party.
Okay.
Not to be confused with the Black Panther Party for self-defense. A lot of people confuse us with that. We are linked through lineage to the Black Panther Party for self-defense, but we are not them. We're not. We I don't claim that, and I never have claimed that. People, tend to think that that's what's going on. We definitely could trace our leaders on down all the way to myself. So that's why we're definitely connected through the bloodline, and that's why we follow their system, and we follow Dr. Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale.
Right.
And that's why I always let everybody know that we are a strong militant organization. We're not a hate group, and we're out here trying to lift up our people and do what we can to better our folks. So,
Okay.
Indeed, yeah.
Sweet. I like that. All right, brother, shoot.
Well, all right.
Lunch.
Well, no. Hey, I'm just letting it flow, baby. Just letting everything flow. You know what I mean?
I got you.
It seems in this day and age, man, our people, black people, how can I say it? Well, straightforward, kind of, lost our way and have become content with the injustice and of our community, man, and or they just gave up. I don't know if it's out of fear or just pure laziness. What would you say, and how would you describe that?
I think we become numb. Would be a good word for it. Just like we have become numb to the violence in our community. We become numb to the way we think, to the way things are. Also, it's an issue when you have. We think we're free.
Oh man.
Yeah, and that's true. Yeah, boy, come on here,
Boy, get a sound bite. Let's go.
Yes, sir. We think we're free. We think that it's over. Slavery's done.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of our black people are reading the Constitution, but it says in there you can go back into slavery as long as you basically committed a crime.
That's it.
So
that's it.
These things exist still. And there's traps to put you in those circumstances and situations. So you have to really trace from slave times to Jim Crow, black codes, Jim Crow, things of that nature. Then they're just redoing it. All they do is redo slavery, but they put it in law. So they're trapping our black people in law. And we're sitting here thinking, oh, we're just breaking laws, or we're just they set up poverty first, and people can sit there and argue that all they want to, but they set up poverty because we all know they flooded the communities with drugs and things of that nature. Yeah. We all know that they bombed our buildings that were doing well for themselves and our people that were doing well on American soil. Yeah, flooded them. They tore up our breakfast program that we had, you know, urinated and put fecal matter on our food and went to the door. They went door to door, knocking on people's doors, telling them that it was poison. The food was poisoning, yeah. So these are the tactics that they've used every time we try to do well for ourselves. And then they had redlining. So when you have all these things set up, and people don't even know why they live in a certain neighborhood or their mom, why we're prone to be in there, because that's where we were allowed and the only place we were allowed to stay. So now when you have all this going on, and you have poverty, you're gonna have issues. You're gonna have problems. You're gonna have crime. That's common sense. You're gonna have these things happen. So when you have crime and you have that going on and people killing each other and murder and things like that, what's left? Right. Prison. Now you're going to prison. Yep. You know, when you and then when you're in poverty and you're trying to get some money and you know you don't have too many skills. They've taken
Free
away.
labor.
They've taken away a lot of the skills and the trades, and given them to a lot of the foreigners that come over. Those skill sets have been basically all given over to them. If you look at who does all the groundwork and things like that, our Mexican brothers and sisters, they've got that, and you know, there's just certain things that we don't hold as valuable anymore, valuable jobs. You know, even whether it's carpentry or things like that, those skills are typically held now by foreigners that have come over to the United States, which is fine, but the fact that we've been so displaced from those skills, and we look for things, that's hard work, that's manual labor, those are skills, you know. So but the fact that mentally we're displaced from those skill sets, that's a problem, because now we don't have them. And then if we're sitting there with felonies and without jobs, and now we're trying to sell drugs or whatever else, well, that's the only thing that's left for a person that, you know, that's undereducated, you know, is stuck in a bad community, whatever it is. Everything is stacked against you. So when we commit the crime and this, that, and the other, and we try to, you know, make a living for ourselves or whatever we do, in those type of situations, then we're stuck in the prison system, and now we're sitting here once again in what? Slavery. So when we walk around here like we just free and everything's good, and you know, we don't stick together, we don't help each other out, you know, we just, hey, I got mine, you better get yours, that mentality. Yeah, so now we're stuck sitting here, you know, in slavery and don't even know it.
Yeah, I'm still a slave.
Yeah.
And then there's also financial slavery.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
The economics. Yeah.
And actually, I got a question I want to ask about that too. Do you think that part of our economic downfall is because that we sell everything we build, and the stuff that we create, we don't do the proper, we don't take the proper protocol to own it.
Yeah. That's something that, once again, I had this conversation yesterday, I think, but you know, when we get, or okay, let's say grandma has a house. Grandma has a house. She passes. First thing the family usually ends up doing is selling the house. Selling the land, the house, everything. You know, the siblings fight over it, and they take the 20, 30, 100,000, whatever it is. You know, whatever you're dividing and splitting up, they take that.
And they're gone.
And usually they pay off their debt, probably get a new car. Something like that. Typically, it's not enough to get your house. You know, sometimes you might be able to get a house with it or something, or at least start, you know, over with one. But you already had a paid off house right here.
Right.
You know, you could have took the land, did some refinancing or whatever you were trying to do with it,
or remodeling the house,
it, rent it out.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, you own it, so you should be able to go to the bank and start a loan for another one.
Yes, sir.
Get another house.
Yes, sir.
Rent that one. But we're always giving away our property. We're always giving it. We're always going for the money instead of looking in the, you know, at the long shot. We go for the short shot.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot, but
I need the quick hit.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
Temporary.
Yeah, so I think what was it in Baby Boy? The difference between guns and butter.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But yeah,
That's true. I see a lot of times too, man. Like these older homes, like you said, they'll go sell Big Mama house.
Mm-hmm.
The bank or whoever come through buy it, and then before you know it, you give it about 10 years. They go fix it up, do whatever. And now that house and that land, they selling that for $2, $3, $4 million.
something crazy.
You know what I mean?
Or knocking down the
and
whole
you only
neighborhood.
got 200 out of it. Like,
Yeah.
So that's definitely that. But what about like creations too?
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? Because I noticed that, man. We'll start businesses. Come up with creations. Matter of fact, the people who like the creators who do the dance steps and stuff like this, they put them out, they sell them. They don't even know they can actually copyright that.
Yeah.
So people can't steal it. And then you see they dances on Fortnite.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people paying for them packages, and they're like,
Yeah.
wow, I just missed out on the whole business move.
Yeah, that's a difference in being business savvy, but also the problem with a lot of that is hip hop is always a young sport for us. It's a young art.
Yeah.
It's a young art form. So therefore, those dance moves and the different things like that come out of that, and it all comes from younger people who wouldn't typically know that. They wouldn't be. They're just having fun. They just hearing the beat, having fun, going viral. Whatever they're doing, they're not thinking that far into it. And nobody's there to tell them.
Yeah.
That you should get a patent on this, or you should, do it. Nobody's there to tell them that. So yeah, they're losing out on money. They don't find out till they turn, I don't know, maybe late 20s, early 30s, sometimes not even longer than that. That man, that little move right there, I should have did something about that. But
And I want to speak on that too, because I kind of try to tap into where the kids at sometimes just to see what's going on. It was this phrase, and y'all may have heard it. The young lady was like, "You better get you one of these," and they was like, "What's that?" She was like, "Oh, a chicken salad." That phrase, right?
okay,
She just did it like she was eating a salad from somewhere. Somebody wanted to buy that from her. I forgot which company wanted to buy that from her for 50 bands. She said no. She ended up sold. I think she got the rights to it, and she took it to Weight Watchers, where she making way more money. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
wow,
So it's just just
She was
knowing that
smart. She
little
was
bit
smart,
of,
yeah.
of business,
Having that little knowledge, yeah.
helps. And
Yeah.
like I said, we sell companies all the time. Like we'll come up with, some kind of invention or whatever, or we'll start a business or a storefront or something, and then we sell it to a bigger person because they want to buy it for $5 million, and it's like, but if you hold on to it,
Right.
They see if they want to give you $5 million, that means they getting at least $50 million off of it. You know what I'm saying? So why not hold on to that and build it for your legacy?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
and
saying?
through history, all our inventions have been stolen continuously. So that's nothing new. You know what I mean? So, when we do stuff like that and we come up with something, and I urge all our black folks, don't just be so quick to put it out just to show that you did something amazing and genius. Like, get it patent, get it copywritten, whatever it is you're doing, so that way you're protected, because people will legally snatch your stuff. Yeah. So.
Or
Well,
they'll be
you
quick
gotta
to sell, but like in the words of Prime say, it must be the money.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
Definitely.
yeah. So, on to the next note with that one. In the black community, the black families always consider crying to be a form of weakness. What's your thoughts on that?
We talking about just the family in general, or the male?
Well, the male, or just the black family in general.
Right.
What you crying for? Don't cry. Whether you're a girl or a boy, male or female. So.
Yeah, I don't think it's a form of weakness.
Yeah.
I don't think it's. I think people need to have that release. On the other hand, I do think that it's situationally specific. There's certain things. All right. Especially talking to a young boy, you got to tell him, hey, nah, that this ain't the time to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you man up, tighten up. You know
That's
what I
it.
mean?
That's it.
It's gonna be hard times in life. You know, you can't go too soft on them. You know,
Right.
completely. But it's okay to cry. And it's okay to let that out.
Yeah.
And I think our males especially should know that because you can't hold stuff like that in and
Right.
have trauma and. You know, things going on in your life, and you just holding it in because you want to be a tough guy. That's not.
And it's gonna build up, and it's gonna release chaos.
Too much pressure or bust a
Right.
pipe. You know what I mean?
Indeed that.
Yeah.
So it's okay to cry in the car. You know,
Shower,
or
you know,
in your room. You know,
Yeah.
it's okay. You know, whether you're a grown male or black woman, because hey, I know some black women that just holds it in. You know, hold it in, man, and just suck it up and keep going.
Yeah, well, our black women are extremely strong.
Yeah,
extremely.
yeah.
You know,
Indeed
strong women. But they
It's
have
okay to let it go.
and they need a strong man to be that outlet, in order to be able to come to and let that go.
Right.
Right. And you need a man that can, at least tap into that side to say, hey, it's going to be okay and things of that nature. So we have to have, at least some sort of sensitive side, to where we can relate to, our women and even our young female children. You know what I mean?
Right.
You got little girls and stuff like that, and you have to be able to understand where they're coming from, and you can't just come hard at them all the time. No man should be completely one way and hard all the time. It's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And too, with that, man, I want to ask this here because I see this a lot, more so online and not so much in person. But do you believe that there's a gender war between the black man and the black woman? Because we see that a lot, where it's like, we always going at each other, whether it be good or bad. But how do we get beyond that? You know what I'm saying? To the point, because and I ain't gonna act like I ain't participated a little bit, but
Tell the truth. There you go.
I mean, but look,
Speak your truth. It's all right.
But in the grand scheme of things, man, it's like at the end of the day, we have daughters, we have female relatives in our family also, But how do we get beyond that point to where black men and black women seem to always be at each other's throat? You know what I mean? Just for whatever reason. It could be something as petty as, 50-50 or 100% or whatever.
Give us an example,
Black woman is your fault this, now the black man this. You know what I mean? Like, how do we break that cycle?
I think the best way to really do that is to realize who we are. First of all, as men, that's the first thing. When you turn into a man, you put the toys away. All right. So you have to be a man, first of all, and a woman has to know how to be a woman. So these things are incredibly important. They're there for a reason. And there's certain terms that are used that people find, disrespectful, I guess, and feel like they take the power away from women or whatever. But when you use terms like place value. Now, if I say place value, a lot of women will take that as saying a woman has a place or should be in a certain place or she, whatever. But the man has a place too.
Yeah.
I'm not saying one is greater than the other. Indeed. I'm saying that there is a position and a place that the woman needs to be in as well as the man. Okay. There's duties that we have that we should be concentrating on, and there's things that the woman should concentrate on. Yeah. And what happens is we have our males and our women. Our women have had to be so strong through history that they have formed the mind of a man.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? They've had to carry so much. The load has been so heavy for our black women that they've mentally turned into a man's mentality. So when a man comes, and I'm talking about a real man, not a boy, but a real man comes and tries to take his place as a man, he's butting heads with another man.
Right.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
there's no room for him.
There's no room for him.
Right.
You can't tell her nothing. You can't. There's no compromising because she's so used to doing things on her own and being on her own. It's hard for her to relinquish that power because she's so used to carrying it. So and as a man, you have to understand there's certain things that you gotta say, to your wife, your girl, whatever, I'll let you get it. I'll let you get that because you're better at that than me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Certain things, whatever it is, it could be, just for an example, it could be finances. It could be, just keep your track and making sure everything in the house go right.
Right.
Man might just be, you might just be good at working. You
Right.
might be good at bringing home the bacon or something. She might be good at that.
Right.
Who knows?
Right.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
But everybody has their strengths and their weaknesses, and as a couple, you have to know what your strengths and weaknesses are.
You have to know when to step aside.
Right, yeah. And a lot of
Definitely.
times we getting together strictly off appearance. Like you can't get you mess around and get
be
a
in
pretty
charge of
dumb
everything,
get a
man.
pretty dumb one. You don't want no pretty dumb one or a handsome dumb one. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not gonna do you no good. So
Indeed that.
yeah, you have to know who you're with, and when you like they talk about building empires, you always see people, I'm gonna build an empire. We building empires like Beyonce and Jay-Z and all that. Look here. When you build your empire, it ain't gonna be off no beauty. It
Right,
better not
right.
be.
Can't
That
build
ain't-
it on
and
sand.
see,
That's for sure.
You gotta have that right. So
And see, what they fail to realize, Jay-Z speak 3 different languages. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They don't know that.
yeah,
You know?
she ain't nobody. You can't be with no dummies.
Yeah,
And you got to know what you're doing. And one person has to be. Even back in the day, they used to marry for to save the province or something like that. Yeah, this guy would marry his daughter off to that guy who has
Right,
so
because
many
of
cattle
land,
or
yeah,
land or
yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
or
definitely.
maybe for protection.
Right, right.
And then they learn to love each other later. You know what I'm saying? But that's how they build empires.
Yeah.
So with that said, if you're specifically building your own, you have to think about those things. What does this woman bring to the table for you, and as a man, what are you bringing to the
for
table
her,
for her? So you have to be able to put these things together, and that's where your empire comes from. For what you guys can bring to the table and build off of together.
Right.
And that quote shouldn't be triggering. Bringing something to the table is not a bad thing.
No,
On
it's
either
not.
end.
It's not.
On either end.
Right,
You
right.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Who else still
What our
has-
time looking like, huh?
Yeah, what's
time
looking
is
like on time? Like, we good?
I look at 3:18.
Okay. All right, we good then. All right, so my follow up for that one would be why do you think that is such a issue for us to unify for important things, but when the stuff that's not important, we have no problem coming together and riding out. You know what I'm saying?
What you mean by not important? Like what?
I knew I should have wrote something down for this. Hold on. Let's just say like I don't know. I'm just throwing something out here just to throw an example.
Going to the club or something,
Yeah.
Unifying going to the club,
Right.
All right,
Yeah, so,
we
we
going
can't
out this
wear hats to
weekend.
the club.
Yeah.
What? Oh no, we got to get that fixed.
Right. Well, hold on. No.
But-
What you wearing? You know what I mean? But that's always the number one question, when going out.
but just
Unifying and
something,
going to the club and stuff like that.
im-
So.
important. Like let's say matter of fact, I use this example because I know this is happening now in Norfolk, right? The mismanagement of like the funds for the recreational sports for the black youth. You don't hear too many people speak about that.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's something that people should be
Because most people don't
rallying together. Yeah.
know. A lot of people don't even know.
And the only reason I found out because I have my homie, actually my daughter's uncle. He started the SYFL, the Southside Youth Football League,
Okay.
and that came about because of that mismanaging of the funds for the black youth and stuff like that. So he created his own thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But like you
Shout
said,
out to him.
people, you don't hear people talk about it though. It's like, oh well, but as soon as they be like, well, y'all can't get in the club free before 11 no more. Now everybody up in arms. It's like,
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with priorities. For one, our priorities as black people, but also this age of relevancy, this age of clickbait, viral is an issue. And the reason why I bring that up is because I don't know if people really believe these things or this is their true opinion. But I see people will ride on something that somebody says is completely ignorant. Ignorant is I don't know what. We know it's not true, but they'll jump in there and ride with it just so that they can get a lot of people hits constantly. So when we put these things above reality, and this is the importance, which once again, self-preservation and all about me. Mm-hmm. So when we put this out, and all we care about is hits, likes, viral, things like that, then it's kind of like, well, who cares about the truth? You know, who cares? So therefore, now I'm gonna just say this, and then other black people start getting on it saying, oh, maybe, maybe this is true. Mm-hmm. So then now you got, instead of us being unified as black people, now we have this group over here thinking this group thinking that, this group thinking that, arguing about which one is right.
Lose sight of the whole plan.
Yeah, now the agenda is different. Yeah. Because now we're it's like, well, I got my opinion because this, that, and the third. Well, yeah, but when you see other groups, right, they may have their own opinion, but when it comes to the bottom line of things, they stick together. They have one.
You know it.
Yeah. They may feel, but as a whole, they're sticking together.
That's it.
We're the only ones that just decide to, kind of do what we want to do, and feel like, we operate as individuals.
Right.
We don't operate as a tribe. You know what I'm saying? We operate as complete individuals, and like you said, I mean, I can't expect everybody to have the same thoughts and unify that way. But is that me?
I don't know.
That's not me, is it? I don't think so. I got a problem with my phone trying to listen to me. Just for whatever
They
reason.
coming for you, man.
Yeah. Come on and do weird stuff.
Yeah.
But we have a problem with unity. But like you said, when it comes to something like the club or whatever, we all out here just. We own that.
Yeah.
But how many black people every day is fighting for the black agenda?
Yeah.
See, then that's what I mean by priorities. Yeah. Like, most of the people that we're talking about aren't fighting for nothing like that, no way. Yeah. Or even trying to be aware. Right. If you go down their timeline, or if you go down the stuff that they look at every day, the algorithm is not going to have any of that on it. Yeah. A lot of times, it's club stuff, ratchet stuff, whatever it is. And if that's the case, because that's all they're interested in seeing. You see what I'm saying? So when we don't, as a black nation, have an interest in the upliftment of black people, then how can we ever unify as a group of black people?
Right.
When the interest isn't even there.
Right.
Yeah. So what we have to now do is try to build the interest and try to unify that way and try to unify under skin. One thing I've been talking about and giving people lectures on is the fact that we as black people argue about some of the craziest stuff. It's
irrelevant.
Right, because I'm better than the Divas.
Yeah, we're separated by religion, politics, gender, color, right, light, dark, exactly,
fashion,
right. We should all be banding under the black skin, under the melanated people. We should band under that and nothing else. It should be, hey, you're black, I'm black. Let's rock. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? With that said, a lot of people get upset when we don't back certain individuals that are black. I think they tried to beat me up on TikTok because I said something I guess not so nice about brother Kanye West. So
well, what did you say? Ain't nobody listening. It's just us.
No, right. So I just tried to explain. Yeah, while you're talking about a community of people, while he's right about one thing, he's wrong about other things. True. So therefore, he could be right about what's happening to the black community, what's been happening in music forever, what's been happening in the entertainment industry. He's right about that.
Right.
But when you're walking around selling out the black nation for these likes in the same sense, I can't back you on that. And I don't understand why people are so upset. Because if you have a family member, if you have an uncle that's addicted to drugs or whatever he's addicted to, and you can help that brother along for only so long. Yeah. After a while, you're considered enabling him, and now you're allowing him to keep doing this stuff. Yeah. at some point, to save the rest of the family, you have to cut that brother off. Same thing with the house and the field Negro. You know, when you had the field slave and the house slave, and some of the house slaves was good. They helped out, whatever. But I'm saying the ones that was, with the master.
Uppity.
Like old boy from Django.
Right,
Yeah.
What's that, Steven?
Yeah, Steve. That was Steve.
So when you have a brother like that, how long do you hold on to him? You'll never escape.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna get off the plantation. So when people
you out.
people beat me up on TikTok because I said, hey, look. You can stay on the plantation if you want to, but this man gonna get you caught. You can't sit here and just keep saying, oh, he's a black man, we should all stick together. No, certain black people, they can't come on the trip. They just can't. They're gonna be yelling. They're gonna be out there saying, we over here, we over here. You can't take him with you.
And speaking of, I got two questions I want to ask you. When you mentioned the black agenda, do you think that so much division has actually confused the black agenda? Because a lot of us don't even know like what it is. You know what I mean?
I believe it's distorted. It's distorted. The black agenda.
Yeah.
Because everybody has their own agenda now.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's
understand?
like, okay, my idea of the black agenda is this. Well, over here, this group's idea is this.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So
Look at the 60s, 70s. Look at Dr. King. Look at King Malcolm X, Huey P. Newton, Dr. Huey P. Newton, Bobby Seale. During those times, you seen black people all across the nation for whatever together.
Unified.
You had your
Everybody
ones,
unified.
you had your few,
Yeah.
But for the most part. Now look, that's not long ago.
Yeah.
But look to now. What the difference is.
Yeah.
Now we have all these other, I guess what you call, I'm not gonna say options because they've always been there, but the fact that we fight each other over them. The fact that we have brothers that, well, even if we look at the feminist movement that what white women were getting into at a certain period of time, and then our black women jumped into it. We didn't typically have those type of problems.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We jumped in helping out, doing whatever, and joining these different movements. Now,
we brought those problems home.
right. Now we got the problems.
Right.
And we continue to separate. Whether we sit here, we arguing about where we're gonna go when we die. Well, what about right now? What about what happens while we're here? You can, hey, feel free to believe in whatever you want to believe in, but don't argue with this other black man because he believes something different.
Right.
Don't not work with the black man or black woman because they believe something different.
Yeah.
And I see it a lot. I see us on online, just trashing somebody's belief system.
Yeah.
And that stops the unity.
Yeah.
Because you may have a brother or sister that believes in something totally different that just really wants to help out with black people.
Yeah.
They really want to serve that food. But they sitting there thinking, oh, well, they believe some, they don't like me, they hate me, or whatever the case.
Yeah.
So now you have an issue.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Right. So when you have all this going on, work with that black brother or sister because you're isolating him or yourself, but you're isolating for no reason or outcasting certain people for no reason. Yeah. There's no reason to push that brother or sister out when they could be doing good for the cause. If you look at our United States military, they say we got the greatest military on planet Earth, right?
Yeah.
Now, do they kick people out for being a Satanist, a Muslim, a Christian?
You can be anything in there now. You can be anything in there now.
You can be anything. They ain't stopping none of that. Sure. They don't care what happened to you. And they know you sure to die. They don't care what happened to you. So why should we? Right. Yeah. So why should we be any different?
Right.
Why should we sit here and isolate a brother or sister just simply because of what they believe personally?
That's it.
As long as you believe in the black agenda and uplifting the black man and woman and keeping us together as a whole, as a black nation, hey, I don't have no issue with you.
Okay. And my second part of that is, I wasn't gonna ask this, but since you brought up Kanye, it was like, can you be for the betterment of black people also while constantly trying to seek white validation?
Hold on. Before you even answer that, do you think he's actually trying to seek white validation? You know what I mean? Or do you think he's trying to escape? He's trying to escape from that.
In some cases.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Not all, but you know, like I said, I agree with some of the stuff he says. Not all.
Right.
But it's like, you know, on one breath he'd be like, you know, for example, he'll say, well, you shouldn't trust this person over there because they rich or whatever. You know, and then he'll say, well, I'm rich. And then it's like, you know, he'll go kind of, you know, switch up. Like he'll do the MAGA hat, but then he'll say, y'all should rock with me because I'm black. So it's like, how do you, you know what I mean? It's like, where do you draw the line at? Because it seems like you're playing both sides of the fence right now.
Yeah, and as Brother Malcolm said, you know, our entertainers should not be our leaders.
I agree.
First of all, they shouldn't be our leaders. When you look at white America, you know, they don't have athletes or musicians, or Garth Brooks or somebody ain't they spokesman.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like that doesn't happen there. So why are we, you know, we look up to people because they have status, money, you know? So
money movers for some reason.
With brother Kanye West, you know, he has some things that he says that I don't know, maybe he does it for shock value, but when somebody has to start to question your mental capacity, I don't think that anything they further say, you know, should be listened to, especially when you see them flip flopping.
Yeah.
You know, of course they tried to call Dave Chappelle crazy, but you could clearly see, Dave Chappelle wasn't crazy. He was smart. You know? But and he's never flip flopped and did these different types of antics. You know, brother Kanye West is listen to me again. Brother Kanye West, see,
You got an iPhone now.
no, it's
That's a Samsung.
you know it.
Hey, y'all stop making me look bad, Samsung.
There it is. Thank you, sir. Thank you for that validation on
And
the.
as soon as you say certain names, they start clicking.
Yeah.
Next time I need you to just say it's an iPhone.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Kanye, you know, like somebody hit me up and said, you know, oh, I don't know why you mad at Kanye. Slavery was a choice, you know. So people,
It ain't like it was a good option though. It's like
Right,
do this or
right.
die. Like
Well, you know, it was spawned from fear.
yeah, well, let's
A
look
lot
at
of fear, you know.
let's say this is true. Let's say this is true. Right now, that means everybody in the prison system should be free. They do outnumber the guards, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They there's
Indeed
plenty of
that.
them. Plenty of them in
Indeed
prison
that.
that outnumber the guards, and they click up very well. They have their own
They have
politics.
their own cliques, yep.
If that's the case,
Number the police in the United States Army.
right,
With the guns that's gonna wipe them out.
right,
And the bomb.
They got a small shot though. But go
right.
ahead.
But
Yeah.
I mean, they should
That's
be
what he's saying.
able to take that prison over.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should get that far. They should be able to take the prison over. So if you're looking at slavery,
They did an attic.
we had revolts, plenty of them. I don't know what history he's reading, but we had plenty of revolt, plenty of people. Henry Box Brown, look at that. One of our brothers mailed himself to freedom.
Yeah.
I heard that.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
mailed
that's
himself
true.
to freedom.
Yes, he did. Yes, he
Locked
did.
himself in a little crate.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Like what? Yeah, people tried to escape as much as they could.
Yeah.
You know, you got people. You're seeing in the trauma. That's why I say I don't know what history he's going off of. If it's the whitewash, you know, history. But they literally had barbecues with our people, and the trauma from that.
Yeah.
They castrated our people. They raped our women in front of us, nailed them to barns, had them walking around with all types of stuff on their necks,
Right.
like put them in boxes and just had them sitting there in the heat.
Yeah.
Had breeding farms
Yeah, see,
like cattle. So look, when you have all these different things that strike fear and to a people that really don't even speak the right language or the language of the native tongue that's here. You couldn't even get together. You weren't even allowed to congregate without a white person being there.
That's it.
So except for what Sunday, you know.
Yeah.
So, so these are the different types of things I'm saying, and I don't understand how just maybe because he's a celebrity and people think he has some type of random free thought, he's a genius on the boards or whatever. But
Yeah.
I don't understand how they can come to that conclusion when history shows you would happen, and the trauma and the bull whips and the different things that we had to go through. I don't understand how they don't see that how that could just keep a people stuck in one place. We got brothers in jail right now that ain't going through none of that, and they ain't revolting. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know how he says it's a choice. Yeah. Especially when people did try to escape. Nat Turner. Yeah. Haiti, Haitian Revolution. I mean, we've always been a strong people that try to rise up and escape and be better for ourselves. We've always done that. So little stuff like that. When people are out there making comments and doing things, I'm surprised that people even really actually pay attention to them. But everybody's got a platform, everybody's got a voice, and people are gonna follow who they follow. And as sad as that is, it does destroy what we're trying to build. And that's why I said, if that brother ever wants to come home and come back to where he used to be, where he was speaking all this great positive stuff in like college dropout and things like that. Right. But now he wants to walk around with the different shirts and the Confederate flag and whatever whatever you're doing for the clicks and the baits and the and the viral message and all that crazy stuff and talking about Hitler and wherever else he's doing. You know what I mean?
I guess
it's just constant harm to the black community. While he's trying to help the black community. Yeah. So I'm not gonna sit here and trash him and say that everything he does is horrible. Some of the things he's talking about it's true. But when you mix truth with falsehood, that's where you get
that's your message up,
right? And you get the people that are you're trying to
messages.
Now you're trying to gravitate to every side, and that's where I see what you're saying by he's trying to kind of look for the validation of white people because now he wants every side. He's trying to because we all know he's trying to get into these different corporations and been trying to get these businesses whatever. We get that, but when you sacrifice your people for that type of thing, I can't rock with you like that until you get back to what you're supposed to be doing.
Respect.
Well, he could be possibly trying to hold on to the white validation because of everything that went down between him and Kim, and he know how those white folks love the Kardashians. So
yeah, but don't put the whole black nation in jeopardy and give
risk,
them the wrong message because you decided to lay down with who you decided to lay down with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's your meat and your problem. You know what I mean? Like don't put that on all the black people for that. You know what I mean? You give them mixed messages just simply because you done messed up with her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
All right, you got any more questions, brother?
No, sir. That's just about it for me.
All right, well, I got one more.
You got
one more? That's it?
I got one more. That's all.
Oh man, I thought we were just warming up.
Not this time. I got one more. So, lately I've been seeing that I think it's in California. They've been talking about reparations now for black people.
Mm-hmm.
I think the number they came up with was like 223,000, something like that. I understand activists are shooting for 350, but my question is, if we were giving cash reparations, how can we make the best of it? And should it be cash or other things of value also, and not just here goes $350,000, just do whatever?
I think just cash by itself is a mistake, because we need so much more. We need. I think everything that was stolen from us should definitely be returned.
Indeed,
I think that
release the patents.
Yeah, well,
to them inventions to the right people.
We were just recently in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and we're literally walking on the bones of all of our ancestors, all of our black people. Those bones are under the ground. There's mass graves with buildings on them. They should knock all that down. Knock all of it down. They should knock every building that's not owned by us down over there, and either let us build on it or leave it there as a mass grave, something. But I think that that those things should be given back to us. The different lands, all the land that we've owned, even all the way to Africa. I mean, that's a whole nother conversation. But stuff that we own that has been pillaged, raped, and taken from us should be given back. Economically, we need to be we need to have some type of training classes, even how to invest money, you know, and all these different things. We can't just get money and send somebody out there in the wild. You know what I mean?
Because they're gonna just get it right back.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it.
and we're gonna be, you know, in a position. And even with business, when you open up a business, what are you gonna do with that business? How are you gonna run that business? Yeah, the startup money is good, you know, but what happens? You know what I mean? What happens afterwards when you really just don't know how to run a business? So, there's a whole lot of things I think has to come with the money. You know, I've even been hearing about, you know, some of the our Latin community and you know some of the Asian community say they shouldn't be held responsible for you know, like the foreigners, you know, that are here in the United States say they shouldn't be hell. I agree. they shouldn't. They ain't do it. You know what I mean? But if they're profiting from it, if they're profiting from certain things by the grants and the different things that they're allowed to get that we're not allowed to get, you know, hey, you can get taxed too. You know, so I think a lot more has to come with the money than just the straight
I believe
cash.
so too. I mean, I just see it like being like you give people just money, and they don't really understand it or have a plan. Then it gets wasted.
Yeah.
It's just like a sports player or something. You know, they go to these teams and then they start playing. You like, yeah, but you played for 10 years and over the 10 years you amassed $150 million, but you blew it. Like, how you broke?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, you know, I definitely think understanding how money works is something that we need to look into also.
Absolutely.
Understanding credit, understanding all of these other things that go into it other than just, okay, I got it, I'm going to just go to Gucci and just buy everything in the store.
Right.
You know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's another thing. You even brought that up. You know, with the brands and the different things of that nature. You know, we have to be really mindful of that. We're always supporting and buying into and spending the most on non-black brands. You know, people, us as a people, we're always looking for a status symbol. You know, something to show that we got whatever we got or don't have. You know, like even with Jordans, people, you know, they don't. A lot of this stuff people don't wear because they look nice. They wear it because you know, it's a status symbol, and it shows that you know you have a certain level of money, or at least it portrays that. You know, you see us as black people. We always okay. I see you. I see you. You know, we sit there have a circle jerk with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of crazy. You know what I mean? You sit up there. Hey, I see you. Oh no, you the one. You the one got the money. Oh, you the one. Look, man, stop it. Stop it. You know what I mean? Stop this. So you know, I look at it like, hey, now we gotta stop. You know, doing this at some point in time. You know. Be real with yourself.
That's it.
Be honest with yourself. You know, it comes to a point where you have to say, "Hey, look, I'm here, and my objective is to get here." You know, and that's it. Stop faking the funk and doing all this stuff, spending all this money we don't got. You know, all the money that a lot of people spill on these items, they could build things of their own. Their empire, they could build it.
That's a conversation him and I was having the other day. I was working and I drove past what was it? What was the name of that store on Little Creek?
Well, you told me and I can't remember.
Yeah. They had a line out the door. A new Jordan release was that day. They had a line wrapped around the building, out the door.
It was a shoe store?
Was
it
I
the
think
shoe
so,
store?
yeah. Yeah, it's right down the corner in that shopping center right there. I can't think of the name.
Was it DTLR?
DTLR, that's
Yeah, I
it. That's the
remember you
one.
telling me.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir. They had a line wrapped around the building.
See,
No.
and I'm not saying, you know, if you like them, get them, but
Yeah.
if it's in your price range, don't take
Don't
away
go
from
broke
your
to
rent.
get
And get your priorities. You know what I mean?
Right,
'Cause
right.
I know a brother right now that has a Maserati, and he has it parked in a in like a apartment building. I don't know where he got it. Some used Maserati, or whatever. But
That's hustling backwards.
yeah,
Yes,
it
it is.
looks crazy.
Yeah.
Like you don't even got your own parking space.
Yeah.
And you got a whole car like this.
Well, it's at least a nice apartment complex.
Right.
No, it was a normal joint. You know what I mean?
Or even if he owned it, he probably, he probably possibility. You know what I mean?
So it's our priorities as black people. We
Right.
really have to
It's
get out of that,
insane.
because we could have certain things, but it's our mentality, and we always looking to impress the next black man and
Right.
compete with the next black man. Don't compete with your brother.
Yeah.
Raise your brother up, raise your
Yeah.
sister up.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta sit there and compete
Rock
with them.
together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
rock
Yeah.
together. That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But we're constantly competitive, constantly trying to show off something, whatever. Nah, get what you're supposed to have. It's out there for you to get. We gotta, of course, work 10 times as hard, but it's obtainable.
Yeah.
And when we're making moves like that, we're never gonna obtain what we want to, what we're supposed to have, or what we can have.
Right.
And for those out there too, man, that we know that are doing good for themselves, don't hate on them.
Right.
You know what
Congratulations.
I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
yeah,
stop. Like,
yeah.
I hate to see that, man. Like, I had a homie who bought a house, man, and I told him, I was like, bro, I like your house, bro. This makes me want to go harder and working on getting mine.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, you'd be surprised. I mean, my own family members are like upset, hating on the fact that I have a house. You know, like, you don't know what people go through to get their stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Connect
saying?
with
So,
that person and
yeah.
ask that person.
Learn.
Yeah, and learn. That's
Definitely.
it.
Yeah, or work
That's it.
harder.
Yeah.
Don't sit there and sit there and hate
Definitely
that man
grind
'cause he
hard,
don't work.
but at the same time, like my man said, don't be dumb with your money.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't go out here and buy a $80,000-$100,000 car, and you can't get your rent paid, or you
That's
can't
it.
afford the maintenance on that vehicle. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? You got to be smart with it too. So
Yeah, and that's something I see a lot. Even with like, I'll see somebody go out and instead of getting a nice, I don't know, just a nice Honda, just a brand new Honda, they'll go get a 96 Mercedes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have a brand. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is gonna definitely be better,
Right.
last you longer. But it's that status once again.
But see,
It's
the
a
thing
Benz,
is,
though.
I feel like, look, if you can't take care of that car when
Yep.
it starts to go down,
It's
and
gonna be expensive.
yeah, it's gonna be expensive. So if you
need
can't
to
take care of that car at that moment, I don't think you should even purchase that car.
learn from me, man. I did that.
Yeah.
And it got me an Escalade,
Okay.
and I was like, man, this is a nice truck, but when I tell you, you're going to fix something every month.
Yeah.
You
It's
know
gonna
what I mean?
cost. It's gonna
Whether it's
cost.
just a tire
Yeah.
or something. Ball
Yeah.
bearings going
Yeah.
out. Like, it got to the point it was like, you know what, man?
Let
Yeah.
this go.
Yeah.
This truck, bro.
Yeah. If you can't afford to keep up the maintenance, then hey, let it go.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Even with congratulating, it's kind of, even in this movement, just doing work and out here grinding, and I see a lot of people, they're doing work and they're trying to make things better for other people. And then you get certain people that'll sit online and all they do is I call them Facebook revolutionaries.
Yeah.
They'll sit there online and all they do is talk about the revolution on Facebook. But they'll
Man,
sit
look.
there and down another brother because they're doing the work.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, y'all ain't all that, or y'all ain't this, or y'all ain't that. Well, what are you doing? You know what I mean? And it's because all you have to do is go work harder. Go out there and do it.
They criticize
Yeah,
it.
what are you hitting me up about, or this other brother over here? What are you hitting them up, or this sister? Why are you hitting them up, talking trash on their page?
Oh, Siskel and Eber.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Siskel and Eber.
It blows my mind. It's like, come on, like, congratulate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I love to see it. I love to see somebody
or not
just
even
doing
just that, and contribute.
that too.
If you think that you can do better,
Right.
contribute. Call
That's
that
it.
person up. Reach out to that person on Instagram,
Absolutely.
Facebook, and say, "Hey, may I suggest this?"
Yeah.
It's just as simple as that.
Right.
You know,
tell you
Don't make
this.
it hard.
You might not know it, but I've seen so many of them, what you call Facebook revolutionaries, and I was like, you know what? Since you feel this way so deeply about this,
Right.
why don't you go join the Panthers? Why don't you get out there and actually be what
Yeah.
you're talking about,
Right.
instead of just talking my head off about it?
Absolutely.
Because I can't do nothing for you right now, and I guarantee you they never reached out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've seen some in person, and I'm like, we were.
Okay, all right. So yeah, so Go to get that last thought out. And
Yeah.
then go
We,
to wrap up.
we were walking out down the street just not too long ago, just doing patrol, and brother came up and why ain't y'all doing this? Why ain't y'all here? Well, where are you at? What are you doing? You know what I mean? You sitting here with your pants falling off, half drunk, and you gonna ask me why I'm out here? Why I'm not in another place down the street somewhere? Whatever. You can't be everywhere at once. Join the movement. We need more people. Sure, come on in, help out. But I know this is time is coming up. I just want to let everybody know we have a thing called Shopping with a Panther coming up. Okay. Shopping with a Panther is when we take kids that have lost their parents to violence. And we take them on a little spree and let them, forget about what's going on a little bit, and just let them enjoy themselves and lift them up and stuff like that. So, definitely contact us if you got a situation like that. And so we got that coming up too.
Okay. And once again, if anyone's out there and you feel like you want to join the movement, how can they contact?
Yeah, definitely. First of all, you can hit www.theoriginalblackpanthers.com. You can hit us there, subscribe, send an email. Otherwise, you can go to the Original Black Panther Party on Facebook. That's our group page. And or you can actually call our number, which is 757-214-2098. So I got it good that time.
There you go.
757-214-2098. So definitely hit us up.
All right. And also, I had a segment called Know Your Truth. But if you want to know the history of the Black Panther Party, go Google whatever search engine you have, how the Black Panther started. Started in 1966 in Oakland, California by Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale. All right?
Absolutely.
Y'all be blessed. Get your history up. Know your truth.
All power to the people.
We are out.
Blessings.
Peace.
Powered by Virginia Radio.